Two races remain in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour schedule, and Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park is where they roll next. It's the World Series of Speedway Racing tonight. It's a packed crowd as this fall tradition echoes through the state of Connecticut. Many divisions on track is making this one of the most appealing races, and the crowd has come out in droves for this outstanding event. The campground is full, the excitement is here, and there's a championship battle on the line. Leading the charge is Austin Beers, seeking his first career Whelen Modified Tour Championship. All smiles after being fastest in practice earlier today. But his challenger, the defending race winner, four-time series champion Justin Bonsignor, they've got work to do to get back into that number one spot. Still with a glimmer of hope is Craig Lutz, a two-time winner at Thompson Speedway. He's got a fast race car, wants to return to victory lane to keep his championship hopes alive. The NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour 150 presented by Flow Sports, getting ready to go racing from Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park, and it's next.
There's nothing like it. You can hear the roar of the motors. You'll feel the ground shake beneath your feet. It's what modifieds are all about.
Cars, 4 to life, we're underway.
So much on the line for this one today.
Trying to do the crossover.
Right to the bottom.
Nice move.
Angle again on the front stretch.
Looks to the inside. Oh, he throws the
Here
block.
comes Bonsignor.
He drives away. He will take the checkered flag. They are trying to make this track wide. To the top of the bumper.
He's
going to win one. This is what it all comes down to.
Here they come at the stripe. It's going to be a drag race.
To the line. The excitement is building here at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park for the World Series 150, presented by FlowSports.com. The grandstand is packed, the parking lot is full of campers and RVs, and the excitement with a championship in focus is on the horizon. Joe Cross alongside Ben Dodge, and Ben, this racetrack has been along for a long time and a big part of it.
It sure has, a major part of racing. It opened up in 1940. The length of the course, the track is .625 mile oval, and it's asphalt, and the banking are, of course, 11 and 15 degrees in the turn. There's no other track with more history in the Northeast than this grand facility. It all comes down to today's event. The World Series is an event like no other here at Thompson.
Let's take a look at the race analysis for tonight's event. 150 laps. The teams will have 9 tires that they can use on pit road, but they can only take 2 tires every trip down pit road, but multiple tires under the same caution.
Let's take a look at the recent winners of the event. Patrick Eberling was the big winner back in August. Ronnie Silk in April at the start. And, of course, Justin Bonsignor back in 2024 at this very event, Joe.
Justin Bonsignor, defending race winner, and it was this track a year ago that catapulted him to 3 consecutive victories and his 4th Whelen Modified Tour Championship. Not too long ago, he just won the Hoosier Tire Pole, scored an extra bonus point over Austin Beers, narrowing that championship gap from 13 points down to 12 points. And you heard just a moment ago him talking to Jesse Punch. We have been fast, we are confident, and we are going to put the pressure on Austin Beers. And look at those eyes, the eyes of the champion.
There's no question about that. He is determined. He refused to get out of the race car after qualifying. He stayed strapped in. He stayed focused. He did the interview there. And, of course, Austin Beers. Whoever thought a youngster, one of the youngest ever in the history of this Whelen Modified Tour, would be an individual that would be in search of a title? The owner of the car, Mike Murphy, been a part of this sport since the very beginning. A lot of different drivers behind the wheel, but he took a shot with this kid. And this kid and the magic has been there all season long. It might be considered an upset, but if you were with us all year, it's far from an upset. It is some of the best, closest competition we've ever assembled for a title here.
Let's take a look at this matchup here. Mike Stefanik, the great all-time driver. They call him Mighty Mike Stefanik. Justin Bonsignor tonight trying to become a tie with him with 15 wins at Thompson Speedway. But look at the difference. It took Mike Stefanik 106 starts to accomplish that. If Justin does it tonight, he will get 15 wins in 47 attempts.
He sure will. And, of course, you know, you look back, career wins for Mike Stefanik, 74 in 445 starts. You go to the other side of the board for Justin Bonsignore. 46 career wins in 231 starts. But then you go to the championships, and it's a whole different ball game.
7 championships in 12 full-time seasons for Mike Stefanik. 4 championships in 15 full-time seasons for Justin Bonsignore. Certainly Bonsignore writing the record books in his era of modified racing. Tonight, trying to take a step towards a 5th championship. Try to tie Mike Stefanik with 15 wins in just 47 attempts here and get closer to that magical 74 career victory win, which is something that Justin Bonsignore has highlighted and one of the things he'd like to be able to accomplish.
He certainly has. And Mike Stefanik was truly one of the all-time great veteran drivers that ever competed here. You're looking at Justin Bonsignore's machine and the cars themselves. So, Joe, I guess it's time to get right to the heat of the matter.
So Justin Bonsignore earned the Hoosier Tire Pole Award. 14-time winner and a 4-time champion here at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park. Austin Beers, a championship point leader, will line up alongside in the 64 car.
Let's go to row number 2. Trevor Catalano turned some heads here today. The USNE Power, number 56, will start 3rd in the grid. Shali Performance, Munz Auto brings us car number 22. In the 4th starting spot, the Bayshore, New York driver, Kyle Bonsignore.
Matt Swanson will start 5th out of Acton, Mass. Part-time runner, but he leads the Connecticut Challenge presented by Flow Sports. Some extra bonus money on the line there. Craig Lutz, 3rd in the championship standings, still has an outside chance at the title. He's got to have a good night tonight. He's a 2-time winner at Thompson.
Let's take a look at the 4th row. They call him Big Money Matt. He has had success already today in the Race of Champions, winning over $12,000. He likes money. He'd like to win this one as well. The Elite Towing Company, Bar Harbor Bank and Trust Machine, car 60 from Northampton, Pennsylvania, Matt Hirschman. In the 8th starting spot, FX Capara, USNE utility service car. From Ontario, New York, feature event winner as well, it is Tommy Catalano, car 54.
Row 5, it's Tyler Ripkema, Owego, New York. That dramatic finish and win at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for him just a couple of races ago. Timmy Solomito makes his first start in 2025. He won his first career race here 9 years ago, back in 2016.
Here's the man starting back in the 11th starting position. Didn't want to run for the points, but he's won here at this racetrack so many times before. The Blue Mountain Machine and Future Homes car. And then the guy that won back in August will start 12th. And, of course, that tribute car to Jeff Bodine. That, of course, the Fleetworks Incorporated car from Orchard Park, car 1. Patrick Emmerling.
Much improved performance for Eric Goodale out of Riverhead, New York. Looking for good results, will start 13th. Chase Dowling out of Roxbury, Connecticut, running the home track for his Tinio Motorsports team, will start 14th.
Let's take a look at the 8th row. Newtown Pools, Wanack Construction. The outstanding rookie sets there with car number 21 for Stephen Kopsick. Alongside, in the 16th starting position, it will be car number 17, the Keene Towing and Recovery car. That, of course, the Michelle Davini-owned race car from Woburn, Massachusetts, Anthony Nacella.
Eric Burt in the 11 from Rocky Hill, Connecticut, championship-winning driver at Connecticut Short Tracks, a veteran of the series, will start 17th. Teddy Hodgson out of Danbury, Connecticut, will start 18th. Another driver participating in that Connecticut Short Track Challenge here for Flow Racing.
In the 19th spot, it'll be the 63 of Dylan Slapian. Woody Pitcat starts way back in the 20th position in the Horton Avenue's Gunsmoke Stables machine.
Max Zackham of the family, number 20, starts 21st. Ken Hagee, series veteran, 22nd. John Michael Chenette, 23rd. Mike Marshall, 24th. And Brian Sonez will start in 25th. Let's go down to pit lane. Let's hear from our pit reporter tonight, Jesse Punch.
Hey guys, Austin Beers is one of the drivers in the field who's already raced 150 laps here tonight. Earlier in that Race of Champions, he told me he likes this schedule. He enjoyed going from racing hard right into practice. It got him in the mindset of being ready to compete. He did tell me, though, that he was hoping to get that pole, especially considering every point matters at this point in the championship run. But that momentum from earlier and the frustration of missing that pole might be exactly what Austin Beers needs to get his first Thompson win here tonight.
Jesse, a little motivation from his competitors among the title. They know the kind of pressure that Justin Bonsignore can put on Austin Beers as they get the one to go. But what happened last time out, Ben? Austin Beers went to Justin Bonsignore's house at Riverhead Raceway and he stole the win away.
Yes, he did. And everybody was surprised at that situation and how it came down to play. That kid cannot be rattled. He is so confident. There's no question about that. Moving to our starters stand is, of course, the gentleman that will bring the field to green.
Laurent Pro, the B&G Sunoco dealer in Quebec, is here on hand. Certainly going to be excited to see him wave that green flag when they come through next time by. Great to have him. Of course, Sunoco, New England Racing Fuel, a big part of this race weekend and has been for many, many years. There's Laurent Pro, ready to throw the green flag. His first time as the honorary starter.
Certainly is. He said he enjoys coming to this racetrack because the competition far exceeds anything that he has back on home turf in Canada, of course. Great guy. We had the chance to talk to him earlier. This is a big Sunoco weekend at this racetrack. And Joe, it's time for what we call the big dance.
A lot on the line tonight, especially for the drivers along the front row. Austin Beers going for his first series championship. Justin Bonsignore for his fifth. 2 races remain of the season in a pivotal event here tonight at Thompson. Field through turns 3 and 4. Pace car is in and we're ready for the green.
Here they come off turn number 4. Rumbling down to the line. With the snap of the wrist, the green will be out. We are racing here for the running of the FlowSports.com Whelen Modified Tour 150.
Kyle Bonsignore giving his cousin Justin Bonsignore a shot in turn 2, propelling him forward into the race lead by the time they hit the end of the back straightaway. Austin Beers on that inside lane trying to hold tough, but the outside has momentum, Ben. They'll rally up to the outside and start to freight train the 64.
There's no question about it. You don't want to be on the bottom on this racetrack. You need to get up in the outside lane, and that's exactly what we're seeing here right now. Down the back straightaway, nose to tail, 3 cars at the point. Then they're side by side, and it appears that Beers is stuck on the inside of Catalano.
Catalano looking very good here in the early stages. He got some extra laps on the track yesterday, running an open modified tour event, put 100 laps in. He says, hey, I finally feel like I belong out there at Thompson. I never had that feeling before. He rides fourth.
Sure does, and that's where the action seems to be currently as we speak. But Bonsignore totally focused at the front of the field. A little further back in the competition, things are starting to settle in. But we are so early with only 3 laps up on the board. Back to the front of the field. Kyle Bonsignore still running in the tire tracks of Justin. Nobody stepping on the line. He'll look to the inside. Can't make the move. And there is Lutz. Here comes Kyle. Bottom shot off 2.
And there was contact between the two. Kyle Bonsignore got into the left rear Nerf bar just a moment off turn number 2 of Justin Bonsignore. Again, they are cousins. Justin going for a championship. Kyle Bonsignore mired in the bottom half of the top 10. Has had great speed in the second half of the season, and he's showing that right now with a second place effort.
Keep your eyes on that 56 of Trevor Catalano. He is back in the 4th spot. Now, he made a bid for the 3rd position. He thought twice of it. Back up front, another challenge taking place. Kyle Bonsignore continuing to work over Justin. But watch out, because Trevor Catalano sees the door open. Couldn't complete the mission. He'll settle back in the 4th. Beers is back in 5.
You'll appreciate this, Ben. Trevor Catalano said the way I figured out how to race at Thompson Speedway was because I decided that I had to drive into the corner as if I was wrecking, through the center of the corner like I was wrecking, and then off the corner like I was wrecking. When I understood how aggressive I needed to be at this racetrack, wrecking on all ends, that's when I got the speed. And it's a different mindset for him to charge the corner, the middle, and the exit, and it's working.
It sure is, and it's so true. It takes a lot of drivers a long time to figure it out. Kyle Bonsignore again, almost there, made the move, but then Justin pulls away. Watch Kyle on entry. He can reel him back in. Now, there, as you look to the left side of your screen, once again, Trevor Catalano is there. One slip up by Lutz, he'll be a factor back up front, bid for the lead.
I think there's a little bit of cat and mouse game here at the front. Justin Bonsignore knows this is a long race and a lot will change. The track conditions will change as the temperature cools. The dew sets in on this racetrack as we approach the 9 o'clock hour this evening on a cool fall night here in the month of October at Thompson. Bonsignore is an expert at running this race. He's won 14 times already, and that comes with being strategic, conserving your equipment early on, and that is why I think Kyle Bonsignore is there to challenge for the moment, because Bonsignore out front, Justin just keeping him at bay.
He certainly is, and of course Ryan Stone knows this track well. Ryan competed in his own car. Look at Catalano now. Just as we said, he continues to play that game with Lutz for that third position. He'll just test the waters, then think twice of it. Back in the fifth position is still Austin Beers. Now Catalano trying for it again. Sinks it in at a ton. Off the turn. Will Beers be able to stick with him? Beers stays up on the outside. Lutz is there. Trevor Catalano is up to the top three.
And he's using a lot of brake to do it. That right front brake rotor already glowing on that 56, and I don't see that out of any of the other cars inside the top five. So a lot of brake into the front right of that 56 car for Catalano, but so far it's working. He moves up to third.
Sure does. Lutz now settles back in to that fourth position. Now Beers is trying to make the same move as you look back up at the front pack of cars. And of course, Justin Bonsignore. Kyle Bonsignore trying to get that chrome horn down underneath. Can't do it. It's still Justin, the leader of the pack.
I'm a little shocked with the pressure that Kyle is applying to Justin, knowing that Justin has that championship in the way. Now, I mean, they're completely different teams. Kyle Bonsignore, this is his team. The 51 owned by Ken Massa, Phoenix Communications, the entire group that have people here on property to witness this 51 and run up front. But you know what? There's a big picture at play here, and Kyle Bonsignore doesn't seem to worry about that at all.
No, he does not. He's driving his line, hitting his marks. If you look at timing and scoring, those marks are spot on. He is not being rattled at all. However, three cars have pulled away at the front of the field. Then there's a giant gap. Leading that second pack of cars is Austin Beers. Kyle Bonsignore, again, tries it, but no one is rattling Justin here today so far. Here comes Trevor Catalano, though. He's trying to make the move. High, low, back into line.
That car is quick. The 56 of Trevor Catalano looking better than he ever has here at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park, and he continues to charge forward. A three-car battle for the race lead. You also see some glow out of that right front brake rotor now in the 22 of Justin Bonsignore. And while we've watched this battle, the 64 starting to close in. He's moved into fourth.
Sure is, and of course it is a close battle there. Max Zackham is down on pit road. He is dropped out of the event. Meanwhile, back towards the front of the field, you're looking at a pack of cars contending. That is for about the 6th through the 12th position. Meanwhile, Ronnie Silk running down underneath to try to challenge Salamito. Behind them, it is Tyler Ripkema. Chase Dowling is there with a 44. But we're looking at a lot of brakes. Left-hand side of your screen is your top three. Right-hand side is the battle that is raging at the bottom of the top 10. And there is heavy traffic there, Joe.
Silk is up to 8th. He is starting to move forward. He slipped back to the 11th spot. Now he's charging on the inside lane, as is Tyler Ripkema, who works to the bottom lane. That is the same car he won with at New Hampshire, the one he crashed across the finish line. Bolt-on equipment. They had to make some adjustments and modifications. He was not happy in practice earlier today, but he's starting to pick up some pace here at the bottom half of the top 10.
Certainly is. Ripkema tries to get down underneath Silk. Behind Ripkema is Chase Dowling. Now, Dowling was not pleased. Back up front, bid for second. Left side of your screen, side by side, give the spot to Trevor Catalano. Joe, you called it. That is a very fast race car. He is now moving in. And all of a sudden, look at the left side of your screen. You will see in a moment that a guy that has moved in to challenge with those guys is Austin Beers. There it is. The 64 is among the top 4 cars. Right side of your screen, side-by-side bid, and there is literally a gaggle of cars looking for the same airspace.
23 laps in, and Austin Beers on a longer run, showing some more speed. He moves into third. Kyle Bonsignore now has lost 2 spots in the last handful of laps. He's starting to backpedal. Lap traffic in the way. Here comes the 56. Trevor Catalano peeking down to the inside, but Brian Sonis in the 12 going to have that preferred line, and Trevor Catalano is going to have to reload and try again here on the back straightaway.
Sure does. He settles back into position. Meanwhile, Austin Beers has moved into the third spot. Let's go back and look at the right side of your screen, but right now let's go back to the left side, Joe, because we've got a bid for the lead.
Here comes Trevor Catalano to the inside. He'll sweep underneath the 51, and on lap number 26 we've got a new race leader, and that is in the form of Trevor Catalano.
Trevor Catalano takes over the lead, and just as that happens, here comes Austin Beers. Beers looks to move, directly running in the tire tracks, trying to make the move as well. Here comes Beers. Trouble now. We've got Eric Byrne, car number 11, and the number 12 car also involved. And that, of course, is Brian Sonis as the Burt
Another
machine.
car involved, too. I think the 11 is there involved. I think
and
the 66 is involved.
Of Eric Goodale's car on the bottom of the racetrack.
That's just raw, unburnt fuel coming out of the tailpipe. When Eric Burnt got that fired up once again, it just extinguished that flame. He's trying to keep rolling. Sonis was a lap down. This happened well behind the race leaders. Burnt just trying to back and forth. That's the longest K-turn you'll do.
It sure
in
is.
A modified.
And, of course, Eric's still frustrated trying to get that car back and moving.
Similar to the results he had here in August. A fast race car and then crashed early on. Lap 28, our first caution of the night, and we'll take a look at exactly what happened here. Into turn 1, Sonis was down on the bottom. Salamito went to the outside lane, but he came down just before he had cleared the 12. That stacked everybody up behind. Eric Goodale knocked the left front off of his car. Eric Burnt slid, made heavy contact. And the caution out for the first time tonight. As a matter of fact, we have gone to the red flag.
Yes, under a red flag situation. The Sonis machine is a car that they're checking on the driver at this particular point. So, again, Eric Goodale getting out of the GAF Riverhead Building Supply machine. Had a good run earlier today as well, but you can see heavy front end suspension damage done as we are under a red flag situation here. Joe, let's kind of recap what we've seen so far, because we have seen Justin Bonsignore with so much confidence. However, it was Trevor Catalano that surprised all of us with an early event charge.
Yeah, he's really looking good today. 56 car of Trevor Catalano. Haven't been the quickest at Thompson for a long time, but all of a sudden they've got that strength and the speed. While we're under this caution, now red flag, the Whelen caution lights are on. Whelen, the official warning lights of NASCAR, trusted to protect first responders.
Sure is. The first name in light sirens and safety services used throughout the world. So we are 28 laps up on the big board, and we are under, and you're looking at those Whelen lights as they are lit up under this red flag situation here at the Speedway. 2 leaders so far, Joe. Justin Bonsignore, the dominant car. Trevor Catalano moved in. Trevor started the event in the 3rd position. At one point, we saw the top 3 cars literally string out and pull away from the rest of the field. There was a huge gap, and then all of a sudden that gap, it went away, and the cream started to rise to the top. In this case, the cream was Austin Beers.
Yeah, he's starting to charge forward. This is a lot of mental head game that's going on right now.
Sure
Justin
is.
Bonsignore has been there. He has done this. He has won 4 championships. Austin Beers in the mix for this Whelen Modified Tour Championship over the past couple of years. But this is really his prime opportunity to win. So what are the drivers that are running for the championship with him doing? Justin Bonsignore, Craig Lutz, and Austin Beers? Well, they decided to start a group text chat, and they are using that to get into Austin Beers' head.
They sure are. And
it's a mental game.
And if you know anything about youngsters today, social media is the way to go. It is a perfect example of how the older guys are getting into the head of the younger guy and making this magic and making this happen. You were totally right about that.
And you would see this a handful of years ago when Justin Bonsignore and Doug Coby were battling. They would trade barbs on your favorite social media platform, but now they're right into the text message, and they are starting to put that pressure on Justin Bonsignore. And you heard Jesse Punch with that interview after qualifying. Justin Bonsignore said, I'm going to continue to put the pressure on Austin Beers, and he did that when he won the pole. He does that when he leads laps, and now Austin Beers is looking out that windshield saying to himself, I have never won at this racetrack. Quite honestly, statistically, this is not one of my best racetracks.
Absolutely.
I know that going to Martinsville next week, guess who the best driver statistically is at Martinsville? Justin Bonsignore.
Yes, the guy alongside right now. And you're totally right about that whole situation. You know, it's funny. When we went into Riverhead, everybody said, this is Justin Bonsignore's wheelhouse. Well, it didn't shake out that way at the end of the day. But in reality, we went from a bull ring, a quarter mile on the island, to this racetrack. You would have to say that Justin Bonsignore's wheelhouse is this racetrack as well. He has had so much success over the years, and he has been able to do all the right things here. He's found the sweet spot of this racetrack.
Let's take a look at what that sweet spot was, the history of the 51 car here at Thompson Speedway. Justin Bonsignore wins at Thompson Speedway. A critical victory for this 51 team.
And Justin Bonsignore clear sailing.
Ready to crawl out of the car and celebrate in victory lane.
Checker.
His crew going wild.
Going into the record books, Justin Bonsignore.
14-time winner at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park. And his last of those 14 coming at this race 1 year ago that helped him win 3 consecutive wins in lieu to his 4th series championship. And this is what he's trying to do again tonight. But now that's not to discredit Austin Beers in that 64 car, because that team has been solely focused on them. And their traditional pattern was, we're going to go out, we're going to win practice. They did that. We're going to go out, we're going to try to win the pole. They missed that by a little bit. But now they're going to go out there and try to run the race. And so far, and I know we're only 28 laps in, but that 64 car looks better than I have ever seen it here at Thompson.
I agree with you. And it's been strong on the long run. We started out the beginning at the start of the event. He dropped back, but then he came on strong. All of a sudden, he was right there contending among the top 3 positions here. So this kid is staying focused. His eye is on the ball. And, you know, we talk about the different teams and the different backgrounds and how much they are important in all of this. There's no question about that. So we are still, work still continues. And, of course, you know, we talk about crew chiefs and people involved. There's a very interesting story that surrounds the number 64 team, Joe, because Ronnie Uhouse was the original driver of that race team, and then tragically he was involved in a very severe accident.
A scary one.
That took him out of the driver's seat. But Mike Murphy, I call him the Irish Angel, he never gave up, and you know, we know that team has gotten stronger and more aggressive. Sly Zabin joined that team at a crucial point and has made all the difference. It's not just one guy, and when you talk to Ron Uhouse, he'll tell you it's everybody involved there. There's my buddy Mike Murphy, an amazing individual, the Irishman that always has a smile on his face. That poor gentleman in the middle of COVID ended up with COVID and literally lost a lung in the process. That's my buddy Ronnie Uhouse. Ronnie Uhouse has been instrumental, a shy guy. He lets his performance speak with his race team by his crew members. He's diplomatic in everything he does. I've never seen him rattle. I've known him all of his life. Never seen him rattle. And he was one of the best short track drivers. Look to his left. That's Sly Zabin. Think of the championship teams. Sly Zabin and Mike Stefanik were like two peas in a pod. They worked together. They knew and communicated without even talking to each other. There's talk going on now, but, you know, in a few short moments, it's going to be every man for themselves. And this team, above many of the other teams, deserves whatever the success it goes their way because they have never given up step by step by step. And everybody involved, it's all the original people. There's no new guys. It's all the original team.
Eric Beers with the sunglasses on his ball cap. That is the dad of Austin Beers, a former winner here at Thompson and other tracks on the series. These three guys have been the brain trust over the past couple of years. It's not just one crew chief. You see the conference down in pit lane. This is how they approach it. The 51 at Justin Bonsignor, one guy calls the shots. That's right. Ryan Stone. But it's a different operation here with the 64 team.
Completely.
And it works for them. I asked Ron Uhas after practice just before they rolled out to qualifying today. I said, how do you have to feel about the race car? And he said, well, he wasn't complaining too bad. I said, so on a scale of 1 to 10, where we have 5, he said, not even that. He thought the car was good. And he said, usually Austin Beers complains about the car quite a bit. So he says, I'm going to take that as a good sign.
It's interesting because Eric Beers competed a lot of races at this particular racetrack. He actually drove one of my race cars and did exceptionally well with it. He was a champion at the New Smyrna Speedway, champion in the ROC circuits upstate. So, the Beers family, they are very serious about what they do. They don't take any of this very lightly. They were never heavily financed back people. Let's go down to Jesse Punch.
So we're watching this race for the championship here with this race and then one more. The 64 team obviously looking for a win tonight, but looking a little bit ahead, what would it mean to take home a championship?
Oh, that'd be great. I mean, this team's been running a tour for quite a while, and it'd just be great for all these guys. They've worked hard. And, everybody deserves a championship, but these guys worked hard, and I think it's due for them.
Obviously, very early in tonight's race, but what can you tell me about the confidence of this 64 team?
Right now, the car's driving pretty good. We're just talking about pit strategy. We have 5 tires we can put on. The car's driving good right now, so we're just trying to decide when we're going to pit and what we're going to put on and just make our decisions from there.
All right, thanks for the time. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. That was Sly Zabin, one of those 3 crew chiefs with Ron Uhas and Eric Beers calling the shot on the 64 car.
Sly, I've known him also for a lot of years, and he's a guy that speaks with the turning of the wrenches. He's not a guy that has a lot to say, but he's one of those guys that knows what he needs to do to make a car win. He's done that with Mike Stefanik and a lot of other great people. There he is again talking with Ronnie Uhas. They're all discussing their game plan and what they need to do and how they need to put it into play here.
And we're on lap 28.
Yeah, early.
It's a 150-lap race, but the tire strategy in these races are really critical because you've got to have a nice, clean pit stop. Track position has a tremendous amount of value, and we have seen drivers not be able to recover from that bad stop, and that's one of the things that the 64 team was plagued with a year and a half ago, but they have cleaned that aspect of their program up, and this strategy play that they do is significant. But on the other side of the fence, the driver and the team that's really good at strategy is Ryan Stone.
That's
because
correct.
He has a lot of tricks up his sleeve that he can do, and you never quite know what they're going to do. They typically follow the standard old, we're going to take 2 tires or 3 tires and a stop, but it's the adjustments that they make that set them apart on that pit stop as the track changes throughout the night.
It sure does, and they can make those adjustments and those changes without everybody even understanding when or why they're doing it, but it works for them. So
now, drama down on pit lane because look at this. Inside the 51 camp of Justin Bonsignor, up on pit wall, tires in hand. Is this gamesmanship? Pit road is open, or are they coming down pit lane? We're going to find out. Midway down the back straightaway is where the pace car is. Pit road is open. The green light on, indicating that the cars can come down. This crew looks eager. They look ready to go.
They look hungry.
Are they faking, or are they going to bring this car down pit road 29 laps in?
It's going to be very interesting. Let's see what's going to happen now. Bonsignor, we're getting close to the entrance of pit road.
They will pass.
They will pass.
The 3 car comes in. He'll be the first car to come down pit road for Tyler Ripkema. So the team stands down. Look at the smiles on their faces as they tried to snooker everybody on the pit lane. Austin Beers will stay out as well. Anthony Nocella is in. Woody Pitcat. Ted Hodgson on pit lane.
And it appears that work continues. A little quick adjustment. Lutz was also in. He was among the first cars in as Craig Lutz is heading back out. Tyler Ripkema, they are putting on a right rear on the number 3 car.
Let's go downstairs to Jesse Punch.
Guys, keep an eye on that one of Patrick Emmerling. Of course, he won last time we were here at Thompson. And I chatted with this crew chief, Dale Hedquist. He said they didn't qualify great, but that's okay. They're playing the long game here. The car isn't exactly where they want it, but they're playing to the track. They know things are going to change. On top of that, he said he's seeing the aggression up front there. These guys are racing each other hard. He anticipates there's going to be some sort of collision, and he doesn't want Patrick in it. They know how to come back from the back. We saw it last time we were here at Thompson, so just keeping an eye on that one. They're playing the long game, as mentioned.
Jesse, it's almost like he's running a super speedway. Get back out of the pack and let it come to him. This one car of Patrick Emmerling, very experienced, has had great runs. And when he won the race here in August, it was a come-from-behind win.
It was exactly that. Dale Hedquist, of course, the big red machine, I'm sure, that watching on Flow somewhere, Jeff Bodine is watching again here for this evening's presentation. Lutz back down on pit road and is now coming back out. And it is early. You look at the scoreboard, 31 laps.
Yep.
And some of these competitors are in for this early pit stop, and that's kind of a surprise to everyone, I'm sure. But Trevor Catalano is one of only 2 leaders in the event that has taken over the lead. Now Lutz is returning to the competition.
He was third coming into the championship battle, 31 points out. For him to be able to have a shot at it as we go to Martinsville in a couple of weeks, he needs some bad luck, but he can't do the same thing that the 51 and the 64 of Austin Beers are doing. He has to do something different. I think it's a really smart play for Doug Ojeko and that 46 team to try to flip this and gain track position when everybody else comes down pit road.
I think you're right about that, and that's exactly what they did. They made the transition, pitted early now, and let's see if they're going to be able to ride that story of that early pit to the closing laps of the event.
Remember, cautions breed cautions. He might pick up some spots here if there's a quick caution when we go back under the green, which we're going to see next time by. There'll be 33 laps complete as they take the green flag. Trevor Catalano in the black number 56, the teenager up there in the outside lane, going to lead him around to the green flag, with Justin Bonsignor in the 51 restarting to the bottom.
And, of course, as they come off turn number 4, staring them down. Back up through the gears. Spotters with their hands on the buttons. Green, green, and we are back racing here at Thompson.
A good start for Trevor Catalano on the outside. He will clear Justin Bonsignor into turn 1. Here's Beers now working for third on the inside lane under Kyle Bonsignor.
Beers continues to dive to the inside. Silk has moved in. He's trying to follow Beers to the front of the class. Now Silk steps out of line just a bit, pulls back into formation. That's the story between Beers. And right there, it is car 54 for Tommy Catalano.
We haven't talked a lot about Ron Silk and that silver number 16, but he has been one of the quickest cars on the racetrack since we dropped the green flag. He started in 11. This caution allowed him to gather up a whole bunch of ground. Now he finds himself battling inside the top 5.
Sure does. He continues to work his magic. Meanwhile, another car that we haven't talked about is Matt Swanson. Swanson, with the 25 car, has worked his way into the top 7. Swanson started in the top 5, dropped back to 10th, and then worked his way back up. Here comes Silk again. He's one of the few cars that is sticking on the bottom, and he seems to be staying there, Joe, but it cost him a bit that time.
And how about the Catalano brothers running 1st and 5th? Both cars in the top 5, now 6th as Silk goes underneath. Downhill challenge with Austin Beers, but could not keep the nose to the inside as Beers goes on the attack.
Beers tries it, tests the waters just a bit. It doesn't work. Now Silk is right there.
That was close. Silk gave him the room. Silk, running part-time this season, could have kept that bumper to the outside. If he was running for a title, he would have done so. But a gentleman move there by the 16 of Ron Silk.
And while that has been happening, behind them, it is a battle between Hirschman, the number 60, and Chase Dowling in the 44 car. They have emerged among the top 10 in the 9th and 8th position. Meanwhile, back up front, here comes Silk again. Silk. Inside lane, Silk takes over the spot. Will it be short-lived? Down into turn number 3. Lead change might take place off 4, but it doesn't.
Bonsignore had a great run off the end of the back straightaway and pulled to the inside of Trevor Catalano, but he couldn't get the job done. They'll file single file to the outside lane, and it was Silk to be able to get by Austin Beers, who now falls back to 5th, and contact behind as Hirschman works the inside of Tommy Catalano.
He works the inside, and Chase Dowling is now looking to get to the bottom as well. Meanwhile, Dowling changes his line. He'll go to the outside in that battle there. Back up front, still the leader. Trevor Catalano leading by .251. Meanwhile, Silk has a car running on rails on the inside of this racetrack.
He can put that car anywhere he wants. It rotates through the center of the corner better than anybody else. Has a good drive on corner exit. That 16 car looks very maneuverable tonight, and I think that's going to help him.
Look at the right side of your screen. You see Chase Dowling in the 44 along with the 1 of Patrick Emerling. They're already starting to work their way. That's the right side. Left side of the screen, 4 cars contending. The 5th car is Austin Beers. Let's look at the right side, Joe. Here comes Chase Dowling. Dowling moves to the inside, and Dowling will take over the 7th spot.
Plenty of action here tonight all the way through the field. You see Anthony Nocella darting out a line at the top of the frame there, side by side, deeper in the pack. We were watching Patrick Emerling. He restarted in 9th, hasn't moved forward at all. Right now he's challenging for the 8th spot under Tommy Catalano in turn 3.
And while he's doing that, also working his magic is Craig Lutz. Remember, we talked about that early pit stop. He's now glued to the back bumper of Patrick Emerling. That's taking place right side of your screen. Tyler Ripkema is there. Steven Kopsick in front of that pack of cars, but back up front, Silk now being worked over by Kyle Bonsignore. But look at Silk. He's got a car that still works magic to the inside. But does he have enough magic to get around Bonsignore?
Typically at Thompson, you use that slide job. You go underneath somebody going into the corner, you drift up and clear them like Silk is trying to do. But everybody is so close among those top 4 cars that he's not able to get up in front and use that momentum carried up the banking. So Silk having to do it the hard way by passing on the bottom and then forcing his way up on the straightaway.
Here comes Bonsignore again. Tries to get a nice run for it there. Meanwhile, Silk still setting back in the 3rd spot. Bonsignore sees some daylight, but off the turn, Trevor Catalano makes it happen. Look at Silk now. He went from outside to inside, Joe, and he's not done yet.
Well, Bonsignore said, well, Ron's down there on the bottom. I'm going to go with him. And then Silk said, well, I'm just going to go to the top if you're going to give me the outside lane, and I'll take the easy path around. Ron Silk, this car on rails, as we will hit 50 laps, the 1/3 mark this time by. He'll dive to the inside lane, challenge for the race lead over Trevor Catalano.
Our 3rd different leader of the event is about to take play. Deep into turn number 1, Ron Silk becomes the 3rd different leader. Trevor Catalano drops back in, 50 laps up on the board of 150. Meanwhile, still settling back in among the top 5 cars. Behind Kyle Bonsignore in 4th is Austin Beers. Swanson is up to 6th. Dowling is in 7th. Lutz is back up to 8th. Tommy Catalano is 9th, and Patrick Emerling is 10th.
It is early, but this could spell trouble for the rest of the field tonight to see Ron Silk out front and driving away. Nobody who has been in the lead has been able to extend more than a 1 or 2 car length advantage in 1 or 2 laps. All of a sudden, Ron Silk's got 5 and gaining on the back straightaway.
Sure is. He continues to apply that pressure. Ron Silk has a rocket. Meanwhile, here comes Beers now. Beers now moves underneath. Can't do it. Pulls back into formation. And as that has been happening, all of a sudden Matt Swanson is trying to get into that front pack of 6.
Matt Swanson is a guy that has run very consistent here at Thompson over the past couple of years, whether it's been in his family car or in this Gary Casella number 25, always in the top 10. Tonight, he's flirting with the top 5 as he runs in 6th.
They've had a tough season, a lot of problems with engines and mechanical woes. He has had a strong run. He's run super modifieds. He's had a great deal of success in other series as well. Back towards the front of the field, it appears that Kyle Bonsignore just can't shake off Austin Beers.
Austin Beers looks a couple of cars ahead. He's still in the range of where Justin Bonsignore is. Not too much harm as of yet. Team really can't panic. The 16 car, you're not racing him for the championship. You're focused on the 51 and staying with them, staying in sequence on strategy so you don't get off sequence and then lose an opportunity to beat the 51 tonight. Only losing a couple of points as they run right now. Still a long way to go.
Certainly is a long way to go. But this time, all of a sudden going into the turn, Austin Beers is now getting closer and closer to Kyle Bonsignore, but he can't seem to plant that car in a direction that'll give him the advantage.
It wasn't long ago we saw that Matt Hirschman had charged just outside the top 5. He has now fallen back to 13th. The longer this run has gone. Surprised to see that because I thought that as he cracked the top 10, he might become more of a factor. Both he and Tommy Catalano have slid back now, flirting just inside the top 15, but maybe not for long.
Not for long. I think you're right about that. Steven Kopsick in the 21 car. Side-by-side bid going down right now. Matt Hirschman trying to get underneath the 54 car of Tommy Catalano. They do. And riding with him comes Tyler Ripkema. Ripkema's confidence is up. He moves in. And then Teddy Hodgson is right there with Steven Kopsick.
What a weight off the shoulders for Tyler Ripkema after so many years of racing.
So deserved.
His dad raced before him, never won a modified race. The first modified race that Tyler Ripkema won was one of the open modified shows at the World Series of Asphalt Racing down at New Smyrna as part of Speed Weeks in the month of February. A handful of years ago, he came down there. Nobody knew who he was, and he won the race, and it has been a long time since we have seen Tyler Ripkema in victory lane in a modified. To be able to get it done on the biggest stage certainly turned a season around that, quite frankly, wasn't that great for this 3 team. And all of a sudden, they've got some speed. Although tonight they're struggling, it was good to see that win in New Hampshire.
It sure was. They are battling for the 11th and 12th position. Matt Hirschman running in 11th. Tyler Ripkema working him over. Can't quite get there. Up in front of that pack of cars is the battle with Anthony Nacella, Emmerling. Lutz now and Chase Dowling have a good battle going on for the 7th and 8th position.
Meanwhile, Ron Silk a straightaway ahead of Trevor Catalano in just 14 laps after passing him on lap 50. He's got a 1.7 second advantage. He is checked out from the field, but the battle for second is starting to intensify. These two have been together all night, and Justin Bonsignore has not been able to find an answer to Trevor Catalano.
You know, and you have to wonder if he's surprised at that, because there's no question Trevor Catalano has a fast race car, and he has hit all his marks lap after lap. Meanwhile, you're looking at a battle between the 1 car of Patrick Emmerling for 9th and Anthony Nacella, who is in the 10th position. Nacella ran this car part-time. Michelle Davini owns the car. Her husband passed away. She took the reins. And now look at Nacella working his magic down underneath Emmerling. But Emmerling comes off the turn, sets up the car off turn 2. That's a good battle right there, Joe, as it continues to go lap after lap for the 9th and 10th spot.
We're not that far from halfway, coming up on 68 laps complete. Dale Hedquist, as we heard from Jesse Punch, is a crew chief for this 1 car of Patrick Emmerling. Now, they won here in August, and they said, we're playing the long game. We're not worried about it, but I'm a little concerned about it. They're 9th. They haven't gained any ground since we went back under the green flag, and I'm not sure what the long game looks like for them, because we are starting to get long in this race as we get closer to halfway.
And speaking of getting long, here is the move. Justin Bonsignore to the inside. Trevor Catalano. Justin Bonsignore picks up the spot. And again, Justin moves into second. Here comes Kyle Bonsignore and Austin Beers. That time went way up wide in the turn. And that's the battle for second on back to the 6th position.
Catalano's car is starting to go away from him. You can see getting into turn 3 that time, the car stepped out sideways. It's starting to become more and more loose, and I think that's because we get deeper into the night. We talked about the dew setting in a little bit further. The track that had all that rubber, all that grip is starting to go away here as it gets colder into the night.
Sure does, Joe, and you can see that not only up front, but you can see it also further back in this field. As again, now Swanson is applying even more pressure. Austin Beers tries to go to the outside. That left the door open for Matt Swanson. Couldn't make it stick, though, and he pulled back into formation.
Austin Beers starting to search around for speed. Everybody else over this long run has gone to the bottom. Austin Beers continuing to run a little bit higher in turns 1 and 2, about half a groove higher in turns 3 and 4, and Matt Swanson tried to take advantage of that, looking to the inside.
They continue to run nose to tail, coming up on lap traffic as well. But remember, while all of this is happening, Ron Silk, who doesn't care a bit about the points, is gone at the front of this field. But the story is a whole different deal for second on back. And Justin Bonsignore is trying to pull away from Trevor Catalano. And you're right, Trevor's car is suddenly changing, and that's happening rather quickly, I might say.
And everybody's car is, and that's why you see the cars now that we're running that outside lane, 11 to 15 degrees of banking. Many were running up top. Now they're all running to the bottom as their cars have changed now into the second half of this race, and Trevor Catalano appears to be holding up the 22 and the 64 behind him.
Sure does, and that continues.
Look at the gap.
To be the gap there. Look at the gap that is going on there. Here comes Kyle Bonsignore down underneath Trevor Catalano. Oh, they touch. They come together.
Right in front of Austin Beers.
But Bonsignore, and they come together again.
Look at Beers. He's giving them a little room. He's giving them a car length or so. Still a long way to go, being smart there to protect that race car.
Sure is. Now, Beers tries to follow the 22 through with the move.
Yeah, that lasted long, right?
Yes,
it's like
short-lived.
Went right back at it. To the inside, trying to get by Trevor Catalano when he moves in.
And look at Lutz. Lutz, we didn't even count on him. Remember that early pit stop? All of a sudden, Craig Lutz is back among the top 7, and he's among the quickest cars on the racetrack as well.
Well, his tires are 28 laps better than everybody else. He restarted in 16th with those adjustments, and he has now moved in, bypassing the Trevor Catalano machine. We'll put him in 6th.
And as he sets back in the 6th spot, and now Beers again tested the waters with Kyle Bonsignore. Couldn't do it. Right front glowing on Beers' car. Still continuing to run in the tire tracks. Wow, Lutz was a little bit sideways. He threw that car into a 4-wheel drift, gathered it back, but he lost a little bit of ground with that type of a situation going down.
Craig Lutz having a great run here as we go deeper into the run. Austin Beers tonight has been good, but he hasn't been great, and he's going to need to be great if he needs to beat Justin Bonsignore and Ron Silk tonight, and they are going to have to go to the work and figure out what this race car needs in the second half of this race when the caution flag comes out, if it comes out, to be able to come down pit road and service all the cars. But that 64 team, this is going to be a critical decision when they come down pit lane on the caution. And I'm assuming that there's going to be one. There usually is, and we'll have to see how it plays out.
Sure does. Usually late in the event is when we get those cautions that do make a difference. Meanwhile, Swanson continues to apply the pressure to Austin Beers. Now remember, Swanson, he's in a whole different battle, Joe. You talk about the Connecticut State situation and that point standings and stuff. this is very important for him to have a great run as well.
And he's got a healthy advantage. Max Zachem, who was third coming in, was 21 points behind, but he has already been on and off pit road. He's had a tough day. He's out of the event. Then you go back to Teddy Hodgson, who has 43 points coming in. He's back in 15th. Matt Swanson well on his way to winning the Flow Racing Connecticut Challenge here in this 3-race series among teams that were eligible. Swanson will likely be the driver that cashes in on that extra bonus.
Here comes Beers. After working over Kyle Bonsignore, he completes the move and the mission. Matt Swanson now sees how Beers did it. He'll try to do the same. But Kyle Bonsignore is able to string it out and pull away. But they're still wheel to wheel and side by side. Here's Craig Lutz into your frame now. He's now moving in. He'll be the next guy to put pressure on Kyle Bonsignore.
Matt Swanson up to 4th. Looking for a top 5 run is Craig Lutz on those newer tires. Looking inside in turn 3 as he works underneath Kyle Bonsignore, and he will now move inside the top 5.
Lutz now makes his presence known in the top 5.
Up front, Ron Silk has his hands full, though. He's got a 6-second advantage, but he's in heavy lap traffic. Just got by Teddy Hodgson. Next car that he'll have to get around is John Michael Chanette as they all work to the inside for the lap traffic. And Ron Silk will set sail around the top. He's got that advantage. Now under 6 seconds of Justin Bonsignore. Now you go back a little bit further. Austin Beers has closed in on Bonsignore. It was over a second when he moved into 3rd. It's now 9/10 of a second. And Austin Beers looking a little bit faster than Bonsignore deeper into the run.
He certainly is. And remember, we said early in this event that Austin Beers on the long run seemed to gain speed. He seemed to gain a lot of forward momentum. You're looking at the leader, Ron Silk, in command, one of 3 different leaders so far in this tonight's event, of course.
And there's the gap back from 2nd and 3rd. Ron Silk, a huge advantage, but this battle starting to tighten up some more. Austin Beers now within 7/10 of a second. You don't need a stopwatch to be able to judge it now. You can see it visibly how close Austin Beers is starting to track down that 51.
Certainly is, and he continues to close up that gap. He's in a zone of his own now, and that zone is going to take him to the front of the field. Remember, the target, the title, all of this and more is right in front of his eyesight. He has to stay with Justin Bonsignore, but more important, he has to have that cushion, and that means he's got to beat him. And there's only 2 events, one after today.
You don't want to give anything up at all. Bonsignore, you can't give even a crack of daylight in the door that would allow him to win a championship. He's already got that bonus point for the pole earlier today. But Austin Beers is going to drive for everything he can, now within a half a second of Bonsignore for 2nd.
He continues to close up that gap, as we said, lap after lap. Swanson still back in 4th. Lutz is still in the top 5. Kyle Bonsignore dropped back to 6th. Dowling is up to 7th. Hirschman is 8th. Trevor Catalano is 9th. And Patrick Emmerling rounds out the top 10.
Even though Austin Beers is closing in, that car is not underneath him like it was at the start of the race. It's dancing around on the bottom of the corners. Dances out from underneath him on corner exit. Look at Bonsignore, though, those white gloves. He is holding a pretty wheel directly in front.
Sure is, and he continues to do just that. But we can see how Beers is just throwing the car around, manhandling it every lap, driving by the seat of his pants, because he is getting closer and closer to that brass ring. And of course, Justin Bonsignore holding that ring just in front of him.
See Bonsignore lifting early, getting into the corner, allowing the car to coast down in there, setting the car, and then getting it to turn. And you see the excellent exit there off turn 2 to the back straightaway. Beers was within a couple of car lengths, but on that end of the racetrack, it was Justin Bonsignore who was just a little bit better.
Sure is. We are approaching lap 100. 50 circuits to go when they come back to the line. This dogfight is far from over as the growling still continues here at Thompson.
The final third of this one, 100 up on the scoreboard as Ron Silk still holding on to a significant advantage, 7.5 seconds. Lap traffic up ahead for the two championship contenders. They'll have to deal with Tommy Catalano and Dylan Slepian, among others. 2 car lengths separate the battle for the second spot among championship contenders Justin Bonsignore and Austin Beers.
There's no question they continue to run nose to tail. That time, off the turn. As we watch, Beers' car continues to be not on point like it was early, but it doesn't seem to bother him. He continues to work his magic. Sees daylight to the inside. Was almost there, Joe, but close, but no cigar.
He'll have to cool his jets here for a little bit because of the lap traffic up ahead. It's going to make it a little bit tricky to get by. Tommy Catalano on the inside line will give way to both Austin Beers and Justin Bonsignore. Beers is there, very close to the back bumper, tries to carve that wheel to the left off the corner.
Tries everything, can't quite do it. Close, but he's not there yet. He works his way back into formation. Here he comes again. This time, thinks twice, moves back in the tire tracks. Heavy traffic still up ahead.
Lost a lot of momentum that time, trying not to get into the 51 of Justin Bonsignore. Hard on the brakes was Austin Beers. He'll have to gather it back up and gain that ground that he lost.
Continuing to do just that. But again, Silk is still way out in front. Silk does not seem to be faltering. He's actually gaining.
Interesting move by Beers to go to the outside lane. All the lap cars are on the bottom. He's trying to trap Justin Bonsignore to the inside with lap traffic ahead. Could this be what he needs to get by?
Does the crossover, then pulls it back in the line. Heavy traffic. They're coming up on the Woody Pitcat car.
Watching Beers slide that car around the racetrack, though, I don't know if that's a great idea with 44 laps to go. You don't see that out of the 51 car. Beers really using his stuff up here.
Sure is. He continues to manhandle it, throwing it all over the racetrack. And Matt Swanson is not letting either one of them get far out of his sight.
I think this is where Justin Bonsignore says, okay, you want to drive high, you want to drive low, you want to scrape that right front tire off, you want to rub that right rear tire getting loose off the corner, go ahead. I'll let you do it because in about 10 laps, I'm just going to set sail and I'm going to drive away from you with ease. And I think Austin Beers has got to be careful here on what he decides to do and to pick his move, pick his place and when he wants to go.
Sure does. And this is where a spotter is so important to settling that driver in. Making sure that he doesn't use up a lot of different line that time completely, Joe. He again tried the outside. He can't do it. He can get close, but not complete that mission.
You see the urgency out of Austin Beers, but you also see that he's not willing to move Justin Bonsignore out of the way, at least not yet. That's the way he races. Very clean is Austin Beers. Now inside turn 3, Bonsignore will protect the line, and again, Austin Beers hard on the brakes to avoid contact, will lose ground.
Meanwhile, a third factor comes into the mix. It is Matt Swanson. Swanson is going to apply some pressure to Austin Beers now. Beers has to settle back in, think twice about this as he continues. That time, Bonsignore's car wiggled just a bit, and that almost worked to the advantage. Now from outside, will he make the move inside?
Bonsignore, the last lap and a half, has appeared vulnerable for the first time in this battle.
Sure has.
His car not as stable as it had been. You see him even off turn 4 that time, had to gather it back in.
Beers now trying to get a nice run for it in the upper lane. Doesn't happen.
The importance of this one position on the racetrack cannot be understated. The championship on the line when they head to Martinsville in a couple of weeks. Austin Beers wants to at least even the score with Justin Bonsignore, who gained that point earlier today. He does not want to lose any ground to the four-time champ.
Tried it again, low, then one up high. Ronnie Newhouse, Sly Zabin, along with Eric Beers. Right side of your screen, they're talking strategy on what they can or can't do.
And how has that changed from lap 28? Meanwhile, outside lane, here's Beers. He'll draw alongside. The first time he's been there. Can he keep the nose to the outside? No. Bonsignore clears off the corner.
Bonsignore is still in command. His two crew chiefs watching every move, planning their strategy with Austin's dad, Eric. They come off the turn again. Once again. Beers tries it. Now here comes Swanson. Swanson has closed up that gap as well. And Beers that time a little bit loose, Joe. He gathered it back, but it cost him. He's trying the outside, but he's got to be careful because here comes Matt Swanson.
Austin Beers knows that the 51 of Justin Bonsignore is going to be tough to beat at Martinsville. He won last year, has been dominant and strong at those tracks. Austin Beers has only led 3 laps at Martinsville. Here's a good run this time, inside off the turn. Will the patience of the young man Austin Beers, at just 22 years old, begin to run thin as a veteran has made that 51 very wide? We'll see 30 laps to go this time by, and here comes Swanson.
It's come down to a sprint, a short track distance, 30 circuits remaining. Beers is all over it. Here comes Swanson. Swanson goes to the outside of Beers. Matt Swanson is going after Justin Bonsignore.
White knuckle driving for Justin Bonsignore, and Austin Beers will say, if Matt Swanson can go to the outside, maybe I can follow him through. Once the gap is there, Swanson to the top side of the racetrack. Beers will try to follow him into turn 1. Lap traffic on the bottom.
4th different leader of the event. Matt Swanson, car number 25, started in the 5th position to take over the 2nd spot. Setting his sights now to get up front to try to work over Silk for the number 1 position.
Craig Lutz, the 3rd of the championship contenders, sitting there in the 46, got those new tires in 5th. He's really got to have bad luck out of the 51 to the 64 to even have a shot at the championship. But he's going to do everything he can to control his own destiny. He's having a great run with that great strategy call to charge up from 16th on the restart to the top 5.
Continuing to try everything. That time the car went into a slide in the center of the turn. Bonsignore. And now Craig Lutz right there. Silk is still way out in front in a zone of his own. Finally, here comes Austin Beers. Leans on him just a bit. Beers almost was there. Can he make the move, Joe?
Barely making contact in turns 3 and 4. Beers will try to slam the door, and he does. Lutz comes on through, and Austin Beers, after 20, 30 laps of trying, able to get by Justin Bonsignore, and now trying to distance himself in the 3rd spot. Lutz now 4th, and Bonsignore shuffled back to 5th.
While that has been happening, his crew chiefs on the right side of your screen, looking around, planning their strategy, trying to remain cool and calm. Ronnie Newhouse talking with Sly Zabin. 126 of 150. And now, Austin Beers in that 3rd position. Silk still out in front. Matt Swanson still setting back in that 2nd spot. What a great run for him today.
Craig Lutz, Justin Bonsignore in that text thread, trying to get into the head of that 22-year-old Austin Beers. Well, Austin Beers said, I'm going to focus on me. I'm going to go to Riverhead Raceway. I'm going to steal the win away from Justin Bonsignore on his home turf. I'm going to go to Thompson Speedway. I'm not going to allow Justin Bonsignore to get his 15th victory tonight. I'm going to put him behind me, and I'm going to set forward at a grandfather clock and a championship of the Whelen Modified Tour. A lot of racing left to go tonight. A lot of racing left to go in Martinsville, but Austin Beers doing what's seemingly impossible over the past 3 or 4 races and keeping Justin Bonsignore behind him at some of his best tracks.
You know, we talked about the patience early in this event, and Austin Beers showed exactly that. Bonsignore never did those two competitors rattle each other. They continue to hit their marks and hit their lines. And now, once Beers has gotten around and Craig Lutz has moved into that 4th position, Justin Bonsignore has to settle back into 5th. Matt Hirschman is up to 6. Kyle Bonsignore is still 7. Emmerling is 8. Tyler Ripkema is 9. And Chase Dowling runs in the 10th position. 131 of 150 left in this flow racing event.
Not much time left to go. Whether or not we'll see another caution, and will there be somebody down pit road to be able to take advantage? You could see the 64 team when they were on camera a moment ago. They are not done thinking strategy. They're preparing for every possibility.
You were so right. And they have not had one moment that they haven't, of course, been thinking about the end results. Meanwhile, you're looking at Austin Beers running in that 3rd position. Good margin over Craig Lutz, setting back in the 4th spot.
To put this in perspective, Ron Silk, just under 10-second the advantage in a 22nd lap, is a half a lap ahead of the second-place car, Matt Swanson. Exiting turn 2, there is Silk, looking for his 4th win of the season, his 30th career victory. And you know what? He came to Thompson Speedway back in 2007 and won his first career race here at this race, the World Series of Speedway Racing. At the time he was driving for George Bierce, the Major Motion Transport team. He won the next 3 races he entered at Thompson Speedway. This became his home. No surprise to see Ron Silk with a command performance tonight.
There's no question about that. He has been strong in every division he's competed with in 2025. Phil Moran said that next year they're thinking of going back and running for the title. Meanwhile, some other good battles going on right there.
You see the second-place car, the red car of Matt Swanson, coming through the frame a half a lap behind. There is Austin Beers, who rides in 3rd. I don't think Beers has enough in him to track down the 25 of Matt Swanson before the checkered flag flies without a caution. There's second, the 25, the red car. And Austin Beers at the top of the frame of the front straightaway.
Sure is. And Swanson goes around the leading rookie, the 21 of Stephen Kopczyk. Teddy Hodgson next in front of them with the 55 car.
There's a 25 of Swanson. Lap traffic down below. Kopczyk will follow in the tire tracks and try to battle Hodgson, who's slow to the bottom.
Great run for Matt Swanson.
Really is. They'll win the Connecticut Short Track Challenge here. As brought to you by Flow Sports and that extra bonus cash for the 3-race series here at Thompson.
And there is your leader, Ron Silk. 10 circuits to go, Joe. And Silk looks as racy as we've seen him so many times here at this racetrack.
Trevor Catalano just went a lap down, and the 13th position had a good car early, not on the long run. And I cannot think of, Ben, many times when we have seen a race here at Thompson go green to checker. Now this is big because Matt Hirschman just moved past Justin Bonsignore for 5th. There's another point that Justin Bonsignore has lost in the championship battle.
Sure is, and those points are crucial going into Martinsville.
And Bonsignore may not be done losing positions yet, because his cousin Kyle Bonsignore within 2.5 seconds behind him.
And we are looking at that situation as now Bonsignore's car is starting to slow just a bit. Nothing wrong with it, but it's not as strong as it was.
Well off the pace, though.
Definitely.
I don't believe Austin Beers can make up the 3 seconds here in the final 7 laps of this one to get second. So it's up to Justin Bonsignore to try to not lose more than he is. He's already a few positions behind. Beers third, Justin Bonsignore now sixth. Here's Hirschman working inside, looking for fourth on Craig Lutz.
Hirschman goes around Lutz. Remember, he pitted for tires early, and now that car's starting to go away. Matt Hirschman is up to the fourth spot behind Austin Beers.
Hirschman was fourth in the series standings coming in, but without some bad luck for Justin Bonsignore and Austin Beers, their championship is effectively over for their team. Not official until we go to Martinsville. There'll be a full slate of competitors, so potential exists that they could mathematically still be in the championship, but they'd have to have a lot of things go their way for these two cars.
They sure will, and they continue as we come down to the final four circuits remaining in this event. Ron Silk. Oh, that time Hirschman scuffed the wall a bit coming off turn number 4. Gathered it back though. And again, Justin Bonsignore back in 6th. Austin Beers in the 3rd position.
There is the race leader, Ron Silk. 2 laps to go for Ron Silk. Multi-time track champion or Whelen Modified Tour champion Ron Silk made the pass for the lead on lap 50. Wound up leading 99 laps. They scored the lead on lap 51 for him. He'll come to the white flag this time for Ronnie Silk.
One more circuit to go. Ron Silk, Phil Moran, and that race team, they have been so amazing. Whenever they've showed up, they weren't looking for points, they were looking for money. And today, it looks like the money will be shifted to car number 16. Ronnie Silk has taken down the impressive victory. Phil Moran and the boys celebrating down on pit road.
4th win of the season for Ron Silk, his 30th career victory, and it comes tonight in the World Series of Speedway Racing and the Thompson 150 presented by FlowSports.com. Ron Silk, at a part-time schedule this season, hasn't slowed them down a bit as he wins tonight in Thompson. And with one race left to go on the season, Austin Beers will gain some ground in the championship battle over Justin Bonsignore.
It'll all be determined in the sunny South, and what a run for the title and the points that we've had. But there's no question about it. Heading into victory lane, the Haydonen Racing Enterprises Phil Moran car is the car that will be in the winner's circle.
Matt Swanson, great job for them in that team. They will hold on and win the Connecticut Challenge presented by Flow Sports, the Flow Racing Challenge, and Matt Swanson will secure that extra bonus money here tonight as he has won that in dramatic style and continues to have great success here at Thompson Speedway. Ron Silk, calm, cool, and collected as ever. There is nobody that is more focused than Ron Silk.
I agree.
And he certainly doesn't get all that excited, doesn't get all that rambunctious, but you better believe 4 wins this season, he's pumped up inside.
He sure is. And, of course, about ready to get out, Sunoco Racing hat on his head. Congratulations going from his team, his crew members, as Jesse Punch will be down there to meet our deserving victor today. And what a great run. And it has been quite some time since we've had an event go that green for so long. Let's go down to Jesse Punch.
A dominating performance tonight for Ron Silk, puts him back in victory lane for the 4th time this season. Ron, congratulations on the win. What an unconventional race, running green for the majority of the race, I should say. Given that, how did this team pull off such a dominating win tonight?
We just had a great car. Didn't qualify great, qualified 11th, but I knew the way it practiced and even how it drove in qualifying that I'd be able to get it to the front. Probably a weird race for the fans. I'm sure they would have liked to see some excitement there towards the end, but it was pretty good from my seat. Just want to thank all my guys, everyone involved, and it's good to end with a win.
Don't underestimate your dominating performance and the excitement that it brought to this crowd tonight. Now, Ron, I know you're not racing for a championship, but what does it mean for this team to get 4 wins already this season?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I thought there were a couple that we kind of gave away a little bit, and not gave away, but could have won earlier in the year. But you don't want to get greedy either. 4 is good for the amount we ran, and we're happy with it.
We'll go celebrate win number 4. Congrats, Ron.
Thank you.
Ron Silk picking up his 4th win of the season tonight here at Thompson.
Well, thank you, Jesse. Phil Moran coming in to offer his driver congratulations. He will also draw for the Hoosier Tire Bonus Award related to whoever finishes, and where they finish will get some extra tires here. We'll see exactly who that is, Jesse, in a moment as Ron Silk gets ready to put that winner sticker on for the 4th time here this season.
Sure does, and very deserving of that sticker. And there it goes into play. 4 wins in 2025, and he's got the smile on his face then, and very deserving of that. And there is the big victory kiss, and of course our Hoosier, we're waiting to find exactly what the bonus position was for the Hoosier Tires.
So Ron Silk getting congratulations from John Holland, Sunoco Race Fuel, New England brand, New England Racing Fuel here at Thompson Speedway, a big part of the World Series of Speedway racing. Been a capacity crowd here at this racetrack.
Great
Still
race.
More racing left to come because there is a lot that takes place, and they can press this down from what was supposed to be a 3-day show into 2 days because of impending weather coming into the New England area here tomorrow. The track promoters, sponsors, all the series involved,
they did an amazing
the opportunity
job.
To do this.
They sure did. Chris Machad, Tom Mayberry, and of course Jimmy Wilson from NASCAR. They called it right. They played their cards right, and we witnessed, well, the final northern stop of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour before it heads to the sunny south. And, of course, Ronnie Silk, a very deserving victor, as his crew and everybody, the changing of the hats in the winner's circle as well.
So they will celebrate, Ben, a big night for Ron Silk. Let's take a look at how they finished tonight. Ron Silk, the winner. Matt Swanson, second. Austin Beers will be third. Matt Hirschman, a solid run at the end of the day, was fourth. And Craig Lutz, a different strategy, but I think it worked for them with the top
Certainly
5.
did. Justin Bonsignor had to hold on to finish in the 6th spot. Kyle Bonsignor was 7th. Patrick Emerling was 8th. Tyler Ripkema was 9th. Stephen Kopsick, the first rookie, would round out the top 10.
We roll on through to 11th. Anthony Nocello, didn't talk much about him. He'll finish 11th. Chase Dowling, Trevor Catalano, Woody Pitkat, 14th. Teddy Hodgson, 15th.
16th position, Eric Burt. Tommy Catalano was 17th. Ken Heggie was 18th. John Michael Chenette was 19th. Dylan Slepian would round out the top 20.
21st for Mike Marshall. 22nd, Timmy Salavito in that early incident. And out of the event, Eric Goodale, Brian Sonez, Max Zachem, and you've got Ken Hagee, the rest of the field. Good event tonight here at Thompson. One caution plagued us on lap 28. Ron Silk charged from the 11th starting position to work his way to the front, earned his 4th of the season, 30th career win, and he's had a great Whelen Modified Tour career as well.
Certainly has, and it is just the beginning. As you can see, the teams head back to the garage area here at Thompson Speedway. It was a great day. We called it a supersized day here at this 5/8 mile facility, but there's no question about it. We were able to get done what we needed to, and that was to carry this torch into the final event. And there's Ron Silk with the Hoosier hat and everything else, and of course 4 will tell the story for that team in 2025.
Tyler Haight, one of the car owners there to the right side with the ball cap. Bob Tulipani, who's between Ron Silk and his crew chief, Phil Moran, does a lot of work at these cars, kept in Newtown, Connecticut. And these cars prepared out of there.
They are to perfection. And Phil Moran has created the magic for them time and time again.
Look at that trophy.
Yes, fantastic. And, of course, 4 fingers that tell the whole story of this season for a guy who said not running for the title I'm just running for the wins.
Looks like he's having a ton of fun regardless. Ron Silk soaking this one in. We're waiting to see if we can hear from some of the other top finishers in the night tonight and hear some of those stories. We'll get you updated on the championship point battle here as this one goes on. Taking a look at all the running orders and getting that right. We do know that Matt Swanson has won the Flow Racing Connecticut Challenge, those 3 races, with his second place finish tonight. Good, solid effort for that team. Very impressive run.
Certainly was, and he deserved it. They never gave up. They had obstacles that they overcome all season long, but they were still able to pull it all off. And that's exactly what we witnessed here today. Still a lot left in the racing program for this evening's program, and we appreciate everybody going out of their way to accommodate and work with all of us here at Broadcast Central for this evening's presentation.
Next up for the Whelen Modified Tour, Martinsville Speedway. It's a Thursday night leading into the penultimate race of the NASCAR National Series when they set their championship before going to Phoenix Raceway. So 2 weeks from now, Thursday night championship battle, and that has been a great one. Got a quick sneak peek of the entry list, and the entry list is going to be really, really good.
Yes, it
Can't
is.
let it out yet. It's not official as of yet, but
Keep it under your hat,
looks
Joe.
really good going into Martinsville. We're excited about what we're going to have on tap for that race. It's going to be full of cars. Getting a quick little update here. Unofficially, Justin Bonsignore will trail Austin Beers by 15 points going into the series finale of Martinsville.
Now let's talk about how it started here today. What was the margin? 13. So he gained 2, okay? Even though Justin Bonsignore was the guy that set up front and set fast time, where he picked up a point there.
So balanced back out again, finished 3 positions ahead. So 15 points the advantage, basically 15 positions on the racetrack. That is not going to be easy for Justin Bonsignore to overcome.
It is not, but we know the talents of all the players involved as Ronnie Silk heads backstage for the final curtain call here at Thompson for his victory here in the Whelen Modified Tour for the Flow Racing 150 here from the 5/8 mile historic Thompson Speedway.
All right, well, we've had the opportunity to catch up with some of our finishers back in the garage area, in the tech area. Let's go down to Jesse Punch.
Runner-up finish tonight for Austin, or third place finish tonight, I should say, for Austin Beers. Austin, a huge pass there around the 51 of Bonsignore. Take me back to that pass and then your mindset through the remainder of that race.
Yeah, he was doing everything he could to keep me behind, and that's his obligation. We're racing hard for a championship, so I'd expect nothing less. And if he would let me go by, I'd be kind of pissed off. But no, he was defending me really hard, giving me a lane when it was needed, and I was just able to get a good enough run out of 2, and I was in there enough to where if he did come down, we wouldn't wreck. So he was able to give me a kind of a lane there, and we were able to race into 3, and I was able to clear him out of 4. So definitely tough to get around him there. It took me longer than I wanted to, but we ended up doing it.
Austin, a week from tonight, the championship will be decided. What do you do between now and then to ensure that the 64 team is set up for success?
Yeah, just do what we've been doing. We've been showing up to every race with a great race car, and that just goes back to the shop, the guys at the shop doing an amazing job all year. Just another race. I'm excited. I've been in these championship positions before, not on the tour, but locally and regionally. So I'm excited to just get to Martinsville and get it done.
Thanks, Austin.
Yep, thank you.
It's Austin Beers. He remains the championship leader here after tonight's race at Thompson.
The thoughts of Austin Beers, who has a 15-point advantage going into the season finale at Martinsville Speedway.
We are set for our next
So Austin
event.
Beers will talk to some of the media down in the garage area. We'll continue to look for some of our other top finishers tonight. Big one for Austin Beers to be able to have that cushion going in.
Absolutely, Joe.
Getting around Justin Bonsignore, and for whatever reason, that dominance that Bonsignore had here, he looked like Ron Silk several years ago, but they're just missing just a little bit, and that little bit cost him 3 positions in the championship battle.
It certainly was, and we have to go back to after we time trialed the cars. Remember, Justin Bonsignore didn't even want to get out of his race car. He was so focused on what he needed to do. He wasn't playing games. He brought his A game, and he really ran up front. But then, as the race went on and long, well, the situation changed, and he had to fight every lap.
Well, we talked a lot about Matt Swanson and the great run that he had today. One of the subplots of this one to come home second, although a distant second. Jesse, a great team to see Matt Swanson, who used to be full-time on the Whelen Modified Tour, come up with a runner-up finish. Let's hear from him.
Bringing it home second tonight, Matt. Describe your run tonight. Are you confident and proud of what you're able to do there tonight?
Yeah, definitely. I haven't ran on the podium on the tour in a long time, and I knew the second we went out and practiced today that we had a really solid car. Kind of got set back a little bit there in the early stages, just trying to save my equipment, and then once we realized we were going to have to go the distance, it was the battle of attrition. So just really thankful that we had a good car and we were able to get by the 64 and the 51 there clean. I know they got a good points battle going on, and obviously don't want to dampen that, but still want to show the speed we had in our car. So just want to thank all my guys, everyone behind me, and look forward to trying again next year.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Podium finish tonight for Matt Swanson, bringing it home in second.
Thank you, Jesse. Great job tonight in the coverage on pit lane. As we go throughout the night today, Matt Swanson with a runner-up finish and Matt Hirschman with a top 5 run for him. At the end of the day, though, it was Ron Silk who scored the victory tonight at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park. A great run by Trevor Catalano. One caution slowed us tonight, and that was all we would see as they marched to the finish from there on out. Up next, it's a trip to Martinsville Speedway on a Thursday night for the season finale on October 23rd. That's when it'll all be settled in a battle between Austin Beers and Justin Bonsignore to see who will be the 2025 champion. They battled on the track tonight. They'll battle the next time we see them. The checkered flag for Ronnie Silk, and the next race on tour will be in Martinsville for the series championship.